pure and holy, simple and lowly. He's no intruder. He's my friend. This Jesus is my friend, the best I've ever had. And he's my maker. Oh Lord Jesus, oh Lord Jesus, wanna be conformed to your image. You my expectation, yeah. Oh Lord Jesus, I wanna be conformed to your image. You're my expectation. You're my expectation. I don't care if I live, oh, yeah, if I die. I wanna be like Jesus. I don't care if I live or die. I wanna be like Jesus. Be like Jesus. I wanna be like Jesus. I don't care if I live, oh, if I die. Yeah, if I die. I don't care if I live or die. I wanna be like Jesus. Be like Jesus. Hiya, 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 hiya. Nathaniel. Hiya, 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 hiya. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Going back, got to leave them behind. You're my maker. You're my maker. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Going back, got to reach out to you. Let me reach out to you. Yeah, no fear, no shame, no guilt. If I am like you, no fear, no shame, no guilt. If I am like you, no
Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Let somebody shout sports in the air.
Sports.
With this good energy, we say welcome to Kickoff Sports Show. I am Favor Laurentola. F to the E to the I to the V to the A. Favor with the flavor. And you know, as we did do now, we give you stories all around sport, football, basketball. Oladapo Kunu be shaking his head.
Let me just finish.
Tennis.
Well, Anthony Joshua will also be having a bout this weekend, and guess what? His opponent was just informed that the bout in just a few hours after leaving, not even a few hours, few minutes after leaving the ring, having his own bout. And well, we look at this morning, and we look at updates coming from the Canadian Open. Michael Alcaraz. Did I just say Michael Alcaraz? Well, this man is doing well. And well, he won his game against Ben Shelton 6-3, 7-6, 2 straight sets. Yes, we also look at transfer stories on the show this morning, same as fixtures of games. Yes, the Premier League Fantasy Code is out. We know some people that will relegate at the end of the season. It is not because they don't know what to do, but we will let them know. We shall let them know. But remember, guys, we're live on Facebook, facebook.com/Solutions939FF. Favor, leave me alone. Let's go straight and start with tennis this morning, where top-ranked Iga Swiatek overcame a first set scare to beat Karolina Pliskova 7-6, 6-2 on Wednesday in the second round of the National Bank Open. Swiatek advanced to the face 14th seed Karolina Munkova 7-5, 6-4 winner over Serena Christie. Swiatek defeated Munkova this year in the French Open final.
Well, I'm going through to the men right now. As top rank Carlo Alcaraz won in his first match since his Wimbledon victory, beating Ben Shelton 6-3, 7-6 in the National Bank Open on Wednesday night. Preparing for his US Open title defense, the 20-year-old Alcaraz ran his match winning streak to 13, dating to his Queen's title run, and the Spanish star has won 6 titles this year.
Okay, now let's look at other games that are scheduled for today. Well, the Canadian Open ATP 1000, Tommy Paul Struve, Alexander Vukic, Marco Giron, all through to the next round. However, looking at all the games scheduled for today, Alejandro David Fokina will be up against Casper Ruud as Mackenzie McDonald battles Milos Raonic. And for Taylor Fritz, it's 5:30 today, will take on Alex de Minaur. Looking at Lorenzo Mussetti's game against Dani Medvedev will be by that should be around 7 o'clock. Yes. And well, another game, Gil Morphis will be up against Alexandra Vukic by 9:30. 11 o'clock will be the clash between Tommy Paul and Marco Giron. Yes, we'll give you the update tomorrow morning. But looking at the latest this morning,
Well, Danielle Collins is through. We have Arina Sabalenka through as well. Jamie Paolini is through. Petra Kvitova is through as well. Other games scheduled for today. Jessica Pegula will be up against Jasmine Paolini. That's going to be by 4 o'clock today. Iga Swiatek will take on Karolina Muchova by 5:30. There is a game between Mari Vuskova and Daria Kasaskina today as well. Another game choreographed will take on Maketa Vondrousova as well.
okay, the last game in that WTA category is the blood battle between Sloane Stevens and Alina Rybakina. That will be by 11:30. Now let's move on this morning away from tennis and let us talk boxing, where Robert Helenius insists is ready for Anthony Joshua this weekend in London, despite stepping in to fight the former heavyweight world champion just a week after his last fight. Joshua was originally due to box Dillian White at the O2 Arena, only for White to be pulled from the card after returning an adverse anti-doping finding. Although Dillian White came out to say that, well, he's clean and there's nothing stopping him. It will surely be happy if the final result comes out to say that, yes, he's clean for a bout. But here is Robert Elenius talking about the bout against Anthony Joshua.
I come back in the dressing room all sweaty and wraps on and everything, and my manager pulls me aside and say, I need to talk to you a little bit. I was like, okay, what can it be? He just says, like, yeah, we have to fight next weekend, or do you want to fight next weekend? I was like, why would I like to fight next week? And I just fought, like, I need a vacation. But then he said, like, yeah, it's Anthony Joshua fight. I was like, oh, I need to think about it. Just give me a few moments. And then I came back like 5-10 minutes later. I thought, okay, let's do this. This is what we do. We Vikings, we fight, you know. And I've been doing this my whole life. Why stop now?
In those 10 minutes that you made that decision that you wanted to go ahead, obviously Marcus, your manager, needed to negotiate. What went through your head, Robert?
Everything from hell to heaven.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you commit in that moment? Do you commit?
Yes, I have to commit, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't dare to take a fight if I won't commit to coming here and bringing my A game. Yeah.
Well, Anthony Joshua's next opponent, Robert Helenius, saying that he's committed for this bout, but just is something very... I'm seeing some handwriting on the wall. Why did Anthony Joshua why did his team just go for Robert Helenius? One, I hope that there won't be fatigue going into this game for Helenius. That is one. Two, for Anthony Joshua, should he lose this game, that means you are fighting a guy who just had a fight, who won his bout. So for you had opportunity. Maybe you had opportunity to rest, but should Anthony Joshua lose this bout? Well, don't let me predict what's going to happen. But for Anthony Joshua, he needs to keep fit. He needs to keep fighting after losing all his belts against Alexander Usyk. And he's fighting a man who's also from that region of Alexander Usyk. Talking about the Vikings. Talk about Ukraine, Russia, and the likes, Finland. So, but moving away from that this morning, let's talk about NBA and let's talk about fines and money.
Well, I like money, and let's talk about Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards, who has been fined $50,000 by the NBA for swinging a folding chair that struck two bystanders at the conclusion of Minnesota's season-end playoff loss to Denver Nuggets on April 25. I'm beginning to see that most of the sports players tend to bring out this emotional frustration in the very wrong way, and it's getting out of hand, right? I mean, every time you have a sports player on the news for violent acts, I think we all should learn to control our emotions one way or the other.
Controlling your emotions.
The most recent was Super Falcons and England. You know, I feel. Why are you looking at me like
No, I'm
that?
listening to you now.
I'm done.
Okay, well, do you know this song? Human Being, MI, Two-Face, and Sounds of Time.
They are all legends.
Sometimes you might see me in the range, looking fly, but deep down I'm feeling pain. Cause everywhere there's pressure, I can feel the strain. Sometimes you might see me looking dope, but there's nothing in my bank account, the boy is broke. Trying to meet demands, I swear it's hard to cope. Yeah, and myself, I be human being.
Well, everybody be human being. There are times that you just, you need to watch your emotions. You don't let your emotions overrun you. Yeah,
Even if your emotions are, taking control, there are ways you can show your anger instead of displaying violent acts. Throwing things, stepping on people, and the likes of it like that is not part of it.
Okay, but let's look at other stories here. Still in basketball, Josh Hart is finalizing a 4-year, $81 million contract extension with the New York Knicks. His agent, Aaron Mintz, Davis Parr, and Stephen Human have told journalists the side are walking through the final details on Wednesday, and once fully completed, Hart will continue his participation with the Team USA on its way to the FIBA World Cup. Now let's move straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. Check the time right now. It is 8:10 from Solutions 939 FM. Shout out to Ajayi Kende, Ismail Rabiu, Ogbeni Odeyemi. Remember, guys, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Solutions 939 FM. Tweet at us or X at us at Solutions 939 FM. Send us yes. You are not our ex.
But you can trade at us as well.
Yes.
At Solutions 939 FM.
Send us message on X threads. Send us a DM on Instagram.
Gram us on the gram.
Gracias.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back. A quick reminder of the Value Jet Cup finale between Shooting Stars and Beyond Limits today, 3 p.m. Who can take that away from Remo Stadium Ikene in Ogun State? Probably the Shooting Stars, Ahelu, or the Beyond Limits. I understand. I saw one picture over there. Like, was it diving? Another one.
Yeah, that's a celebration.
Another one.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be. Agba, that is Adelashe. Okay, Adelashe Jamiu.
What is that?
Okay.
I don't understand.
Okay, no, it's just like, you have guys after scoring, they have this acrobatic style of celebration, the likes of Obafemi Martins, Moses Seaman, the way they have the acrobatic style. So
someone should emulate the Onana style as well.
Oh, na. Okay, let's move away this morning and let us talk more football stories. Remember, we're getting more updates. The Super Falcons of Nigeria, some players returned home yesterday without the coach of the side, Rondo Waldrum. Maybe he also needs to see his family after the FIFA Women's World Cup, or even staying back to also learn from other teams or other managers at the FIFA Women's World Cup. However, it is more of the campaign of paying the bonuses of the players.
Well, we gave you an update yesterday that FIPRO released a statement on its readiness to assist the players in recovering their outstanding wages from the NFF. But there is a development as a trio of Odion Igalo, Victor Anichebe and Victor Osimhen have called on the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, to pay the Super Falcons their unpaid salary and bonuses following their impressive showing at the 2023 Women's World Cup. Now, let us look at some tweets or some X's that they wrote on their official page of the @NFF official. Super Eagles and Napoli forward Victor Osimhen wrote, "Pay them at NFF official," with an emoji of disappointment, while former Manchester United striker Odion Igalo made a comment that tells a long story. "NFF never stop all these things," Igalo wrote on X or Twitter. Former Everton striker Victor Anichebe wrote, "NFF pay them. They did us all proud. And even if they didn't, pay them what they are owed." I mean, I felt like this was going to be something that would also come up after the end of the World Cup and the likes of it like that. We've always had this report from even the Super Eagles camp, where some salaries would be owed and some wages would be owed and the likes of it like that. So, I mean, I wish the NFF would listen and do the needful in this situation.
I mean, if it's all about the money, if it's not making money, it's not making sense.
Yes, how would I go and exhibit my passion, my talent, and my sweat for a country, and the next thing is I'm not going to be paid for what I did?
It is not, it's no longer news that, I mean, not even African teams, the female national teams of different countries, have been calling for equal pay. Even before going for the FIFA Women's World Cup, we know the likes of South Africa, the likes of Chipolo Polo of Zambia, we know that of Canada, we know that of UK, that is England, all, fighting, talking about the money they have to be paid. But, hey, anybody that works will surely have to be paid. But let's go on a break. Let's pay some bills. And when we return, we talk football stories. Do not go anywhere.
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor they shout.
As you enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this money don't I no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say,
Okay, we don't get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
when you come see that better yama roasted fish with all the hungry you since in come.
I don't carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not supposed hard like this, so now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Hey, my name is Alex. I've been a content creator for a while now, and I always try to innovate to keep my audience entertained and engaged. When 5G came into Nigeria, I thought it was all noise, like the normal hype, gang, and all that noise. But boy, was I wrong. Because I've hosted virtual concerts, partied with my followers in the metaverse, created skits with creators in other countries without ever having to leave my room. I can shoot a movie without being on set. Hey, now that's a godsend. With all the money I've spent on cabs this year. If there's one thing 5G has done right, I would say it's made it easier for me to do me.
Change the game with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speed, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
Welcome back. Still your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 939 FM. Thank you for sticking around. And let's go straight. Favor Lawrence here. My name is Adadako Kunubi. Let's go straight and talk about Samuel Chukwueze, who's optimistic of winning the titles with AC Milan.
Samuel Chukwueze says he joined Syria giant AC Milan to win trophies. We also see that, he joined Rossonero from La Liga club URL in a deal worth 28 million euros last month, and the 24-year-old started training with his new teammates this week and made his unofficial debut in a friendly against Monza Tuesday night.
Let's talk about one man who's still waiting for his MLS debut. That is Lionel Messi. Well, Lionel Messi will have to wait a few days longer to make his official debut in MLS. It was announced on Wednesday that Inter Miami's August 20 home match against Charlotte FC, long expected to be Messi's first action in the MLS, has been postponed to a later date. The postponement was required due to both teams' progress in the League's Cup, where Miami will host Charlotte in the quarterfinals on Friday. Let's talk about Kylian Mbappe, the transfer saga, the French League on starting this weekend.
Well, it's been confirmed it will not be involved in Paris Saint-Germain's League on opener against Lorient as the Parc des Princes on Saturday. The 2018 World Cup winner has not trained with the first team squad under new manager Luis Enrique amid a contract dispute with the club. And he's going to miss every PSG game in August against Lorient.
Toulouse
learns as punishment.
Punishment? Well, that is not the first time we'll be seeing players go on strike because they want to, move away from their club. So it's like Mbappe on strike. All right, now let's just move on this morning. Let's talk about games going down this weekend. Let's start with the English Premier League.
The English Premier League kicks off this weekend with a Friday night game between champions Manchester City and Burnley at the Turf Moor. Arsenal on Saturday will be at the Emirates Stadium as they take on Taiwo Awoniyi's Nottingham Forest, while West Ham United will battle London rivals Bournemouth. Brighton hosts newly promoted side Luton. Everton will face Fulham. Sheffield United hosts Crystal Palace, and Newcastle United will trade tackles with Aston Villa. On Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur will be the guest of Brentford at Community Stadium in the London Derby, while Chelsea will be at the Stamford Bridge as they lock arms with Liverpool on a Super Sunday. The week 1 of the English Premier League will wrap up with a Monday night football as Manchester United battle Wolves at the Old Trafford.
Well, Premier League fixtures there. Now let's go straight. Well, shout out to Adeboje Yusuf. Shout out to Olayide Folaromi. Well, for those of you who love playing the Premier League fantasy, the code is out for Solutions 939 FM.
And write this down. It is X2NWVA. I would mention it one more time. X2NWVA.
X for xylophone. 2 for 2 million. Like 2. Number 2. N for nose. W for Wales. V for Viva. A for
Apple.
For
Apollos.
So that's the code for Solutions 939 FM's Premier League Fantasy. So let's go all out and let's see who wins the Premier League Fantasy for Solutions 939 FM. Remember, the Premier League Fantasy, it is more of the English Premier League. Well, we know the La Liga Fantasy, Bundesliga Fantasy, but let us focus on the EPL and the UEFA Champions League. But as soon as the UEFA Champions League Fantasy comes out, we'll let you know. But hey, let's go straight to Spain this morning.
The Spanish La Liga Week 1 starts the weekend with 2 games. Rayo Vallecano battles Almeria, while Valencia takes on Sevilla. Real Sociedad will be up against Girona. Las Palmas hosts Mallorca, and Athletic Bilbao battles against Real Madrid. On Sunday, Celta Vigo will start their new season with a home game against Osasuna. Villarreal will begin life without Samuel Chukwueze as they host the Real Betis, and defending champions Barcelona will hope to kick off the new league season with an away win when they face Getafe. Monday night football in Spain will see Cadiz take on Alaves, and Atletico Madrid fouls out against Granada.
Welcome back. Now let's go straight to the transfer window this morning, where we look at players moving and who are likely going to move. Let's start with Chelsea this morning. Well, for Bayern Munich, they have made Chelsea's Kepa Arrizabalaga their new #1 goalkeeper target, according to reports in Germany. Kepa is the personal recommendation of each coach, Thomas Tuchel, who managed him at Stamford Bridge. Well, Chelsea are planning to go into the season with Kepa as their #1, having sold Edward Mendy. Okay, now let's go straight to talking about Chelsea this morning.
All right, Chelsea have made a £48 million bid for Romeo Lavia, While the bid is expected to be rejected as Southampton owed out for their £50 million valuation, the offer comes close and talks could accelerate in the next 24 hours.
We keep our fingers crossed and let's look at more updates this morning. Although we got the update about Harry Maguire. West Ham have an agreement in principle with Manchester United to sign defender Harry Maguire in a deal worth in the region of £30 million. Personal terms are not expected to be a problem, but there is still work to do on the details of his exit from United. Okay, now let's look at more updates here this morning, and we jump straight to Everton.
Have made an offer for PSG forward Ugo
Ekitike. I like the name. It sounds like Ike. Okay.
Ekiti. Yes, that was why I knew I loved the name. Which the League One champions are considering. The 21-year-old scored 3 goals and registered 4 assists in League One last season. Ekitike joined PSG last summer for €35 million for including add-ons.
Okay, well, let's wait and see if this Ekitike's deal will surely come to pass. However, West Ham, they had a full agreement of Southampton with Southampton yesterday over the signing of James Ward-Prowse in a deal worth £30 million. Personal terms have been agreed on the deal, and Ward-Prowse due to start his medical today. So if West Ham United, now West Ham United can spend money after. Yes, James Ward-Prowse. No, but this is it. If you look at some players, yes, they are needed in your team. Come with experience. Harry Maguire is coming from a top club. James Ward-Prowse performed last season with his free kick.
Harry Maguire is coming from a top club. We understand. Who was the person going to Everton again yesterday?
Oh, that should be Maguire. No, teams are looking for him.
Oh, teams are.
No, teams want him. See, Favor.
Yes.
One man's food
is another man's poison.
That is it. So just leave Harry Maguire. Okay. This man will surely
prove everybody wrong and hit the target.
He will surely hit his form, and people will start looking for him again. Well, let's move to the other side of the show this morning. We'll look at headlines on the pages of Nigeria's newspapers. My name is Oladapo Okunubi.
Well, there was a visit to Niger yesterday. We'll talk about that. My name is Favor Lawrence. Let's stay tuned.
Solutions 93.9 FM. We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
news, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Welcome to AM Update. My name is Favor Olorontola.
Well, my name is Olada Kwakurubi. Welcome to the show. Well, still the show. Well, we just finished the Kick-Off Sports Show, the first half of AM Update. But now I've got with me the Nation and the Punch newspapers here as we look at headlines and what has been happening between Nigeria and Niger Republic. Who are those mediating between the two countries? Well, we also look at what someone said yesterday, that something has been sent to their email to enjoy the break at the Senate. Look at that. And someone or not a group is fighting for Okotete to be reinstated. We'll talk about that also on the show.
Well, I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. Well, from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, Niger coup, Sanusi meets junta leaders, briefs Tinubu, and don't adopt military means to force illegal government out of power. SMBLF. NGE calls for strategic engagement, diplomacy, says military intervention and operation, urges Tinubu governors to fulfill promises on economic interventions. NSCIA advises ECOWAS against sanctions on Niger, urges dialogue. Niger ex-rebel launches anti-coup movement in first sign of internal resistance. And those are stories boldly written on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And our resident doctor suspending on strike. It was all over news yesterday. Edo Esco condemns Shuaibu over impeachment saga. Illegal checkpoint. IDP squad arrests police immigration officer. And let's see, Emefiele asks court to stop federal government from further prosecuting him. Kano CJ gives magistrate court 6 months to dispose pending cases. 2023. All eyes now on judiciary or Catholic bishops. Constitution review. Senator shows promoters of Tiga Gari State in Kano. FIRs more suited to collect revenues for government. Presidential CTE. That's Presidential Committee.
Okay, done with that. Now let's go straight to the Nation newspaper this morning. The cap headlines: Otudeko, Otedola intensify battle for FBN Holdings control. The next headline: resident doctors to weigh options on suspended strike. Justice Odili, I have nothing to do with tribunal judgment. Looking at all the red headlines this morning: gunmen kill cleric in Gombe. Tasks before NEDC board by Shetima. And looking at the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning with the big picture: President Bola Tinubu having leaders, visiting him. Okay, and we also have Niger junta with some Islamic leaders. Not the only Islamic leaders. We also have the former CBN, governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was also in Niger to also speak to the Niger junta. But there's a headline there that says Niger Islamic clerics weighed in to prevent military action. Right after that headline, Tinubu OK's intervention. Another rider: resolving crisis needs everybody, says Sanusi. Well, we also have another headline here: APC replaces Beta Edo, Kiari Unwosu, others. Right after that headline, no replacement for Lukman yet. And we have the picture of Ganduje beside our headline on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Forex scarcity pushes exchange rate to 782 naira per dollar. Favor had to open our eyes. Forex scarcity pushes exchange rate to 782 naira per dollar. And red headline, the last set of headlines here. Federal government appeals order granting Emefiele bail to die in a co-bridge accident. This and more you can find on inside the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Tribune newspaper, we have removal of petrol subsidy won't affect turnout at Osun Osogbo Festival. That's the statement from official festival. And then Islamic leaders hold mass after Tinubu's approval to mediate in Niger coup. NPC set for centers awaiting Tinubu's directive, says federal commissioner. IGP reappoints Olumuyiwa Adejobi as force PRO. Another one here says, your lawmaker urges federal government to construct pedestrian bridges on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Rivers, Fubara expresses the displeasure over federal government's prolonged neglect of East-West Road. Subsidy removal, Governor Kefas approves disbursement of 15,000 monthly allowance to 10,000 youth. Oladapo, can I ask you a quick question?
Okay, I'm here.
How long in a day does it take you to exhaust 15,000 naira?
15,000 naira. How long? It depends on where I stay. One, it depends on what I want to eat. It depends on that particular period. For example, if I'm traveling, I can finish that in less than 1 hour, depending on where I'm traveling to.
Right, so
but if I'm not traveling, if I'm just in one space, maybe over a week, or the weekend on a Saturday, I can spend more than that though, depending on people I'm also with.
Okay, so this is going to be for a monthly allowances.
Or 15,000 naira.
Of 15,000 naira to 10,000 youth in Taraba State. Good one, but that is it.
We must also learn how to manage. Just like what our parents always tell us.
See, the management.
Learn how to manage.
The management that every one of us have been, going through since the inauguration of the president and the likes of it like
we
that.
have overmanaged.
We've overmanaged, incrementing in the transport fare, food prices, and a lot of things that have skyrocketed. We've managed a lot. What you would spend about 6 months ago, you would have double of it to be able to survive right now in Nigeria. So where is the management going to get us to?
Well, wait to see. But let's believe that things will surely. When I listen to Okonjo-Iweala, when she
now
came,
that was a
I
statement.
felt like, yes, it's like a respite of hope for Nigerians.
Well, that was a statement. Action speaks louder than words. We've heard words over and over again without the action.
She's not speaking as a Nigerian. She's speaking as a representative of an international
I understand.
Body.
We will see. Give it a week or 2 weeks.
Do not be pessimistic, but be optimistic.
Okay. I refuse to eat to your
the
advice.
Power
I would just.
The power of death
and
keep life lies in the tongue.
I will keep my fingers crossed.
Change your
in the
mind.
next 2 weeks.
Be a
and
good
see,
Nigerian.
I'm a good Nigerian. Honestly, I always tell you we adapt a lot. I'm adapting and I'm waiting, keeping my fingers crossed for 2 weeks. If this statement is not, put into action, we see what happens. Why did they laugh me?
I'm looking at your fingers. Okay, now let's go straight to the Punch newspaper this morning. The cap headlines: FG may stop customs, NPA, 61 agencies from collecting trillions in revenues. Right after that headline: organized private sector divided as NACCIMA, LCCI oppose proposal. Another headline here: El Rufai, Wike meet Tinubu over ministerial confirmation. Okay, and let's look at this banner headline: Niger, UN, AU, ECOWAS meet on next move. NSCIA warns FG. Two riders to that headline: major decision expected at Abuja meeting. Ex-Kano Emir Sanusi meets junta leader Tiani. Another rider: Nigerian rebels vow to restore deposed president. Coup leaders accuse front of fueling crisis. And you can see the front page picture of Sanusi, the peacemaker, former Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, at a meeting with the leader of the Niger military junta, General Abdurrahmane Tiami in Niamey, Niger Republic, on Wednesday. Looking at other headlines here, FG to spend 341 billion naira on judgment debts. 4 Amotekun officers dismissed for indiscipline. Ondo commander. Now I'm scared of taking this headline. Cooking gas prices will rise next week, say marketers.
You're managing.
They are no longer managing. Okay, so those are the headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning. 8:38 is the time. Do we have empty cylinders that we need to fill up?
You have to look for.
Okay, now let's go straight to the burning issue this morning. Well, remember, Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi was in Niger yesterday, and they went to the Aso Rock to brief Mr. President. Well, he also made it clear that he was not sent by the federal government, but he had to also take some positive steps personally.
Yes, I came to brief him on the details of my discussion with the leaders of Niger. Interventions are ongoing, and we'll continue to do our best to bring the two parties together to improve understanding. This is a time for public diplomacy. It's not a matter that we leave to governments. All Nigerians, all Nigerians need to be involved to find a solution that works for Africa, a solution that works for Niger, that works for Nigeria, and a solution that works for humanity. No, I'm not a government. I was not sent by the government. Okay. The government officials were aware I was going, but it was my personal initiative, using my personal contacts to get there, and I will continue to do my best. It is my duty as a leader to do that.
Former Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, speaking there at the Aso Villa. But now let's go straight to another area of interest. It is more of the ministerial nominees awaiting confirmation. Well, Stella Okotete was part of those who are still awaiting confirmation. But we have, some Niger Deltans saying that anybody put to replace Stella Okotete, there may be issues, but saying that Stella Oketete worked for Mr. President to emerge as #1 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes, I'm the woman leader of this coalition of Nigerian Delta youth. We have no action. Our action is basically coming to media that they should reinstate her as the woman. Yes, I'm the woman leader of this coalition of Nigerian Delta youth. We have no action. Our action is basically coming to media that they should reinstate her as the woman representing us ministerially in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes. We are angry. She worked tirelessly. Yes. I and her and some of us here met in the village. She worked. You need to see her. She worked and worked to make sure Baba President Tinubu came to power, yes. And today Baba is in power. This person they brought now, I don't want to make mention of name. The person is doing media politics. Nobody knows him in the state. They know Stella. Stella is a representative. Honorable Stella Okontede is the representative of Niger Delta. Yes. She represents Delta State as a whole, yes. In the federal level. She plays federal and state politics. Yes. But the kind of politics they played, they pushed her out of it. The person they picked, which of course I don't want to make mention of name, the person did not qualify. Ask me why. The person is not playing politics. The person has said categorically well to us in the state that he's fighting his own personal way to become a minister. The person will come to our state, he will come straight, do his own casting of voting. He does not campaign for anybody. The person did not campaign for Baba Tinubu. No followers. No followers. Honorable Stella Okotete suffer for President Tinubu. He suffered to make sure the state as a whole stood behind Baba, and that is what happened. Yes. Today, anybody, the person that did not win, the person that did not stand for Baba, they want the person to come and represent Stella, which is not possible. No. We will not take it. Yes. I said we will not take it. Yes. Stella is in charge. We know Stella. Nobody else is representing us in the ministerial level. Stella must come to pass. Yes. Stella must come to stay. Stella is our leader. Stella is the one that will know both federal and grassroots politics. Thank you.
Okay, well, the Niger Deltan youths, speaking there, one of the representatives. But Comrade Comrade Ayodele Ajishokwe is here this morning, and let's also get his own opinion here. Is it about who worked for Mr. President?
Or who is competent enough to hold that position?
We saw this coming, though. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my dear comrade brother and comrade sister.
So, Comrade Ayodele Ajishokwe, remember we said this some months ago, that is it about who's competent that can work with Mr. President, or about political loyalty?
Well, it is understandable the agony and the anguish of those men and women from Delta. But what is happening in Delta is high wire politics. You can recall that you have seen, we saw earlier in the presidential villa, the former governor of Delta State, James Onanefe Ibori, shortly after the president was inaugurated. Look, this is high wire politics, and that nomination bid has failed. For Kotete, Stella Kotete.
How?
I can say it has failed because she was not clear. Let me tell you, there was a division in camp of Ibori. He was outmaneuvered by the governor, the former governor, who was the Okowa. Okowa outmaneuvered the Ibori group. Ibori is the political godfather in that state, but he was outmaneuvered. So it is the candidate of, it was the aspirant that supported that Ibori is back. Okotete has lost out in that one. That one of Kaduna Rufai. You saw that the former governor of Rivers State was also called to the villa. Every government has his own Mr. Fix-It. The former Rivers State governor, the volleyball former governor, Yenson Wike, will be called in. He will go and fix that of Rufai. He will fix that. But Okotete is a gunner. You can say that. Okotete is a gunner. It's about reward and it's about muscle flexing, influence, and all of that. So she doesn't have the political muscle that Ibori and his group has. It is a candidate of Ibori, an aspirant, not candidate of PDP in the last gubernatorial election, or a day baby or something like that. He's going to be the candidate. But Mr. Fix-It, the new Mr. Fix-It will fix that of Kaduna governor. It will be settled. That's not the first time Rufai is having problem with the Senate. You know, when he was chairman of BPE, and when he was sent to the Senate to be confirmed, then he had problems with them too, but he was eventually confirmed. So it's high wire politicking. It's about power and influence. Stella Kotete doesn't seem to have the connections to pull this through.
If it is not about the connection to pull through, and let's look at the gender here. Maybe we say gender bias. Miriam Shetty was dropped from the ministerial nominees list, and Festus Keyamo was brought on board. Now, Stella Kotete, a lady, also may not be confirmed, like you said, but whoever that comes on board, it looks like, because what the Niger Deltans are saying, they don't want to mention names, but they're saying he is. Before, a lot of people said, okay, Mr. President has this side where he wants to give more women chance in politics. Are we not seeing a situation we're going back to where we started from, where women are not given the opportunity in a ruling?
Well, the optics is not good enough. You drop that woman from Kano, you replace her with a woman, another man. You drop this Stella from Delta, you replace her with another man. That optics is certainly not good enough. People were already complaining about the number of women in that cabinet, and now dropping two of them and replacing them with men is not good optics. But there will always be compensation. The Shetty woman has been given an appointment, special advisor on culture and entertainment. She can be given a cabinet rank. There are special advisors who have cabinet rank. And when you have cabinet rank, that means you are the rank of a minister. So, but the title, yes, the title might not sound, politically it might not sound weighty enough, but you can become special advisor of cabinet rank. That means you are a minister's rank, and you'll be in the Federal Executive Council Committee meeting, and you are able to talk. And you get all the perks of office of a minister, but you do not have a ministry. And when you have a ministry, you will have the departments and agencies and parastatals under you, through which you can dispense political influence. That is basically the difference. But you can add your own value wherever you may be. It's all about governance.
Okay, now let's go straight to what former Emir of Kano State, that is Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. He was in Niger yesterday, came back to Villa to brief Mr. President. Is this a right step in the right direction, or don't you think this should have been the first step to be taken before Tinubu, the ECOWAS, came up with their attacking statements?
Well, the 14th Emir, the 14th Fulani Emir of Kano, and the 57th ruler of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, he's the head of the Tijaniya movement. He's called the Khalifa. So it is in that regard that he went to Niger Republic. And you will see what muzzle flexing couldn't do. An ordinary citizen went there and he got the job done. It is on record. It is, I think I have it on authority that the President Bazoum has also been released from the presidential villa. So these are the things that needs to be done. Diplomacy is very, very important. You activate your contacts before all the muzzle flexing. You are preparing your muzzle flexing, and you do the contacting and all of that. The optics of the gross diplomatic blunder that Tinubu committed in the Niger Republic is something they have to live with for quite a while. And I look at the cabinet, I do not see anyone that actually fits the foreign affairs minister. You would have expected to see Fahimi there. For whatever reason, he's not there. 8 years of Buhari, we had Ugochukwu Onyema, who was less visible than Abike Dabiri, who was just the chairman of the Nigeria Diaspora Commission. So foreign policy is quite important, especially Nigeria has played powerful roles in the diplomatic field circle for decades, in the days of the military, in the days of Mauritania, in the days of Obasanjo as head of military head of state, and even as a civilian. So it was a terrible diplomatic blunder. We do hope the matters are resolved. But another thing is that, you see, maybe the Tinubu administration or Tinubu himself did not understand, and I expect him to understand the yoke under which these Francophone countries are living in independence, except for a few of them that refused to sign the document that they were asked to sign independence, that made them, to be remotely controlled or even directly controlled by France. Guinea, Mali, and I think one other country refused to sign that, and they were ruthlessly dealt with. So you should understand that you should not be the one to be added to the burden of Niger people. But you see, neocolonialism and imperialism continues, and some of our leaders are said to be agents of this neocolonialism. So it is better that these matters are resolved diplomatically. And I tell you, the letter the president wrote to the National Assembly to ask for power to go to war was a face-saving move. So that the Senate will deny him. I will say, well, I cannot go to war.
Because the Senate, yeah.
Me. It was a face-saving move.
Okay.
I hope lessons have been learned.
Lessons learned.
Let me add this. What baffles me is that the state chief of protocol, they call him Scott, is retired from the foreign service as an ambassador, and they have him there. Whatever his area of specialization in the foreign service, they have him there. They should have listened to him, or he should have put in a word. But not being a politician, maybe he just didn't want to. But I keep telling you this, our president is a dreamer. He's a visionary. When he assumed office as ECOWAS chairman, I heard him saying, Nigeria is back. Nigeria is back. I was quite alarmed. So I'm not surprised all of this drama, this gross drama in Nigeria occurred. They should watch it and be very careful.
All right, thank you very much, comrade, for your contribution this morning. We sincerely appreciate you.
Always my pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
And you too.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Okay, welcome back. Well, you heard from Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe with his analysis this morning, but because of our time, we just have to gradually wind up because of a program coming up at 9 o'clock. That is on our bio. It's a community target program. Okay, now let's look at what the weatherman is saying this morning, same as what is happening on our roads in the city of Ibadan. Well, it drizzled earlier this morning. It drizzled also yesterday. But let's also let people know, for those who may be planning to put on something thick this morning or something lighter. It is 8:55 from Solutions 939 FM. What's the weatherman saying from 11 o'clock?
All right, from 11 o'clock, it's going to be showers at 28 degrees. 12 p.m., it's just going to be cloudy. Same thing by 1 p.m. So by 2 p.m., it will be mostly cloudy, but with, intermittent clouds by 4 p.m. 5 p.m., 29 degrees, mostly cloudy. 6 p.m., mostly cloudy. 7 p.m., cloudy till the end of the day. So it's shows that it's going to be quite chilly. While going home yesterday, it was a little bit cold. I mean, the breeze was just so chilly. So you have to have something that can cover you up and make you warm.
Okay. Don't let me. Well, if you have better food, you can also eat, so make it warm.
Yeah, and then if you can just have a cup of tea, of coffee this morning.
Are you giving someone advice of coffee? Favor.
Don't no, for those that love coffee, I don't like I just don't like it. I don't know what people say in coffee, but you can have a cup of tea.
I know you don't do coffee.
So
just say tea.
Or anything.
Favor, just say tea.
Look, anything.
Okay, well, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us on AM Update this morning, the Thursday edition. Well, the program makes a return tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We kick off sports show, and that will be the last edition for the week. Laffy, hope you are enjoying your leave. Well, remember, keep dreaming, keep hoping Nigeria will be better. My name is Oladakpo Okunubi.
And my name is Favor Olorontola. Keep safe today.